This is a piecewise function of 3 equations, and we're going to graph this function in here. All right, we're going to start with this equation. F of x equals negative x plus 4. Okay, so I like to start with this number that they are already given. Okay, so instead of the x, we are going to use a negative 1. So we're going to evaluate with negative 1. In this case, we have a negative of the formula of the equation, and then x is negative 1, and then plus 4. 1 plus 4 is 5. So we have our first order pair, negative 1 and 5. We need at least 2 points. Now we can choose any number that falls into this category, which is x is less than negative 1. Could be negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 10. Okay, because our graph is going to be small, I'm going to use negative 2. It's the same equation. And now instead of the x, I'm going to use negative 2. So I have this negative, and then the x is negative 2, and then plus 4. Negative negative is positive, so this is simply 2. 2 plus 4 is 6. Our order pair is negative 2 and 6. We can graph this right away. This one goes all the way to 6. So we have to make sure that we get all the way to 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so our first point is negative 1 and 5. So negative 1 would be around here. So negative 1 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5. Our point is going to be here. Remember that negative 1 wasn't included here because it's x less than negative 1. So that's why we're going to do our point open. Negative 1 is not included. Now our second point is negative 2 and 6. So let's put negative 2 over here, and 6 is going to be over here. So that means that we go around here. And now with these 2 points, we know the direction that we're going, so we can make our line. We simply have to do this, and that will be it. That is our first part of this function. Now the second equation, these are very easy to graph. Don't have any x. So it doesn't matter what number you use, your answer always is going to be 3. So is the number that you want to use and 3. So that will be the order pair. So in this case, it says that the x that we can use, or the x that goes with this equation, are the ones in between negative 1 and 2. So negative 1 is included and 2 is not included, but is there. They are giving us that one. If I use negative 1, I'm just gonna get 3 because there's no x to put it there. Okay, so those are going to be always horizontal lines. The other number that they gave us is 2, so we're gonna use 2, and we already know that the y is 3. This first point is negative 1 and 3. Okay, so negative 1 and 3 is going to be here. And look at this one. This one is included. So I'm going to do that point as a close point. And then the other one is 2 and 3. So this will be in this other side. 2 over here. And it goes with 3. So, but this one is going to be an open point because this one is not included. And that's it. We put our little line. In this case is when we have those ones, we just do the 2 limits, because the x is in between these 2. So we just use those 2. And we remember if it has the equal, we have to put the point close. And if it doesn't have the equal, we have to leave it open. All right, let's go to the last equation. Let's go to the third equation. In this one, we have 2 already here. So we can start with that. F of x equals 2x minus 5. Okay, so instead of the x, we're going to use 2. So 2 times 2 minus 5. 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 minus 5 is negative 1. We have our first point, 2, and the answer is negative 1. Now we need another one. Okay, so we have 2x minus 5. We're in the last equation, and the x, the values that we can use are greater or equal to 2. We already used 2, so now we can use 3, 4, 5. Let's use 4. Instead of the x, we're going to use 4. So it would be 2 times 4 minus 5. 2 times 4 is 8, and 8 minus 5 is 3. So I have 4 and 3. Now we plot the points. We have 2 and negative 1. That would be 2 and negative 1, like over here. So we're going to go over here. 2 and negative 1. Is this one close? Yes, it is close because the 2 is included. The other one that we did is 4 and 3. So we have 3, 4. So 4 is over here. and we have 3 over here. So this one is our limit, that's why we use it. And now we simply do this. And this is how we graph a piecewise function. Now, sometimes they ask for the domain and range. When we're looking for the domain, we look at the x-axis. We go from left to right. The first thing that we find is the arrow, and we continue, and we also have an arrow going this directions. We actually have arrows going to the left and going to the right. That means that all these numbers are going to be used and all these numbers are going to be used. And also all these ones are being used. So that means that the domain is all real numbers. For the range, what we do is we look from the bottom to the top. Okay, so we start from the bottom and the first thing that we find is -1. Okay, so -1, and then we continue and these arrows are going up. So that means that all these values of y can be in this function, can be part of this function. So that means that our y's are going to be greater or equal, because this point is close to, and we look at the y, it's -1, and that's it.